Hello, my name is Miranda HP,
And I'm Connor Calloway.
and we are the Bountiful Bards,
Please join us in our first ever recorded D&D campaign.
the Fountains of Cathaidra.
Okay, here we are, starting the next episode. After last time, you were summoned to none other than Regis Thiel's library, where you found her in a horrific state, for she had been possessed by a ghost. At least you think it's a ghost.
Yeah, something spooky with ectoplasm.
Something spooky with ectoplasm.
That screams.
For which you were found by three of the prime regises: Nicholas, the head of the school; Haddle, who is the head of the essentially the doctor that is there that teaches medicine; and then Prime Regis Lithu. All of you looked over the unconscious form of Prime Regis Thiel, and someone has been summoned from the church, hopefully to investigate. But as well as we both know, I don't think Leah does well with just sitting and waiting when somebody she cares about has been harmed.
Well, plus she is just insanely curious about everything, which is probably going to get her killed eventually.
Probably, but we'll see. So, the guards have bustled all of you back to the dorm. You're on the second floor, of course, where your dorm rooms are, and everybody is just all a fuss. Everybody's gathered. For the most part, every student on your floor has gathered in the common room closest to I would say, the western side of the building. They've all gathered there talking, leaving the hall completely empty. So, Leah, here you are. You've been told to wait here, and the guards have been told to keep you guys inside, haphazardly. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I have several ideas, but first question I guess I should ask is, does my room have a window that can open?
I'm going to say yes. It opens. It's one of those that pivots in the center, and it's about like a foot to each side, and it's about a 3-foot tall window.
So, like, is it a window I can climb out of?
Yes, I think you could fit. Is she, if she turns sideways, is she relatively thin?
Yeah, I would say she's in pretty good shape. She's been toting a lot of books around lately.
Well, there you go.
And
Yes.
moving a desk around.
I would say yes, she could climb out of, but you're on the second floor.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
But what I was thinking is, Mage Hand
Okay.
is a cantrip,
Okay.
and it can deal with 10-pound stuff. So what I was thinking is, take an old sheets and do the ye old climb out of bedroom window trick.
Okay.
And
You
then
also have rope.
Oh, that's true. I do. I wasn't sure if I did.
Yeah.
I feel like I have.
Leah has rope.
Okay, cool. That seems really practical
Yeah.
for her to have.
You've had rope since the beginning, since level 1.
It's a standard thing. You're
Yeah.
born with rope.
All characters have 50 feet of hemp rope.
They don't mean to.
I don't know why it's specifically hemp, but that's what they decide.
Because it's a natural fiber.
Yeah, and it's really good. It's a really strong fiber.
It is.
Unfortunately, we don't have it in abundance here in America that we can make a bunch of rope out of.
We do, actually. We have tons of hemp in the U.S. You're thinking about something else. But anyway, because it's a weed, essentially. It grows like crazy.
It's a weed.
Mm-hmm. Lots of things we like are weeds.
Yes, I know. Go ahead.
Rosemary, thyme, lavender.
Focus.
Okay, so what I'm thinking is like climb out,
Okay.
have the mage hand untie
Okay.
it for me so that, I don't have a rope dangling.
What's the distance? 60 feet of mage
Yeah.
hand?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that would
30
that,
feet, but it still doesn't matter.
Yeah, that would work. You're not that high up. You're like 20 feet off the ground. Yeah, that would work. So, what are you going to tie? Are you going to tie it to your bed?
Anything that is, if there's nothing like structurally within the window I could tie it to, yeah, I'll tie it to the bed.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Because I don't think I have immovable rod yet. Wow, that was really good. 21.
Just like your brother showed you, because he's a master of knot tying, you tie a slip knot that can be easily pulled by mage hand. Give me an athletics check.
It's probably going to be less great. That's all right. 10.
You climb up on the windowsill. As soon as you open it, just a blast of cold air hits you in the face, and your body shudders a little bit, and you can feel your muscles kind of tense up at it. You wiggle yourself out. You make sure first off that your door is shut, and the desk up against it like you do. You've made sure that the bed is anchored against the wall, and you get a good couple little tugs, and start slowly meandering your way down.
Basically, like rappelling. So I'm like walking down the building. So
Yeah.
I'm not having to
Yeah.
like yank.
Unfortunately, right before like 6 feet off the ground, your foot slips and you go splat against the side of the building because of what you rolled, and it's a little slippery. And then immediately you let go and hit the ground. A bit rough, not enough to take any damage, but you do hear in the distance someone going, "What was that?"
I'm going to use prestidigitation to make a sound like, you know, when cats are really mad at something?
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
skitter noises.
Okay. All right. He goes, tab. All right.
And then I'm going to be very still until I hear the feet crunch away.
The voice was distant enough that, you know, that there was no moving. There's just somebody just like, "What was that?" And that was about it. So you think you're safe to where you're laying.
Okay,
Plus, you're also in the snow and you're completely covered. You have a Leah-shaped hole that you're currently laying in.
Like, look at me, Jan. Untie it.
Mage Hand unties it, and the rope comes sliding out, leaving the window open.
I'm going to have the mage hand push the window most of the way shut.
It shuts.
Most of the way?
Mostly.
I don't want it completely
No.
shut.
Yeah, of course. It's what you want it to do. It's
So
fine.
it looks close,
It
but
pushes.
it's enough.
It's well oiled. You've opened it plenty of times.
Yeah, Leah does seem like the sneak out sort.
Well, not only that, just open the window. It's dusty and not dusty.
Stuffy?
Stuffy. I was about to say musty. Yes, stuffy is the correct term. Thank you. Ding 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 ding.
I'm helpful. Okay.
Indeed, you are.
So after a minute,
Okay.
taking this time to pretend I was totally doing this so my cloak can acclimate and
Absolutely.
change colors to match its surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stand up and with my hand wrapped in the cloak, kind of like brush where I fell so it doesn't look quite as obvious.
Not a problem. Okay. Give me a nature check. Survival check, excuse me.
4.
That's good enough. Nobody's coming over here anyways.
Probably not. All right. So then I will.
I mean, just to be clear, it's not good enough, but it's whatever.
Whatever. Who cares? At that point, it's probably too late anyway. Fine. I'll use prestidigitation. How's that?
Fit. Okay.
Unbroken snow. Just like instead of dusted tracelessness, just prestidigitation over my back.
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to peek around the corner and see where the guard is, who's probably more annoyed than anything that he has to stand out in the cold.
Yeah, probably. And a lot of them are mostly towards the door around a brazier that's burning. They seem definitely more focused on the brazier than they do anything else. You kind of get the feeling that being a guard at a school is boring work. Nothing happens. Who's going to be attacking the school, really? I mean, so you are out in the open, but it's nice and dark, so you don't have to worry about being seen, especially since you've probably shifted your cloak to look like your surroundings. You look up at the school and you see all the towers are still lit except for the primary tower, which where the library is at the top.
Okay. Keeping myself like against the wall.
Mm-hmm. Roll a perception check, by the way, before you can continue towards the school prime area.
That didn't finish rolling.
Roll again.
15.
Mm-hmm. You see, parked in front of the tower, a new chariot you have not seen before. It is white, and on the side, and it is covered, is completely covered. There's torchlight on each corner. The team of horses have been detached and moved elsewhere. And etched into the side is the black holy symbol of the church.
Oh boy.
The hexagon shape inside of a square.
Great. Okay. So,
Because it's been about an hour and a half since the attack.
since the incident. Okay. So, I'm obviously not going to try to go in through the front door. I'm going to kind of try to sidle along because I know there's a few entrances, right?
To the primary tower, there are a few. The other entrances are usually kept locked, for coming in and out for servants and stuff like that. The primary doors are still open, and you do see shadows moving within the main chamber as well. I know they would be shut back because of how cold it is right now. During the warmer seasons, they just leave the doors open so you can come and go. But there are a few other doors if you would like to try. You know they're probably going to be locked.
That the smoke breaks take place in.
Oh, it's going to be on the opposite side of the main entrance if you want to make your way over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Takes about 10 minutes of crunching through the snow. One time there's a guard just kind of walking out from one of the other dorms, and you just kind of fall flat in the snow so they can't see you until he's off, and then you're up and you're on again. And eventually, yes, you do come to what you believe to be the smaller door.
Look around. Is anybody there?
The courtyard's pretty much empty. The plaza opening, the lawn, whatever you want to call it.
Okay. I'm going to sidle up to the door.
Okay.
With my hand inside my cloak. Just try the doorknob.
It turns, but there is no give to the door. It seems to be probably latched from the other side.
Latched, huh?
Yeah, they use a latching system like a slide latch. Barring the door.
Well, it does not say that I have to see where the mage hand shows up.
True.
So I would like the mage hand to just on the inside and see if it can.
Roll me I would say an Arcana check. Let's just see if you can.
Natural 20.
Oh, very easily. You put your hand right where you know the lock is, or where you believe. You feel your magic once again. That's just a tiny little trace, enough to power your cantrip appear on the other side. Mirroring your actions, you grab and move, and you hear the bolt slide on the other side, and the door pops open on the hinges.
Very carefully duck inside.
Okay. You do so. You enter a darkened room. A kitchen of some sort, you may believe, or more of a storage building. And then it's an opening that goes into a kitchen, which is also fairly dark, except for some, last minute burning coals in the wood oven, because they would push them all towards the back and everything. So they could just burn overnight, and keeps the room fairly warm.
Okay. Close the door very carefully behind me.
All right.
Replace the latch.
Okay.
Okay. And I want to listen. Do I hear talking, footsteps?
Where do you listen? Do you want to listen like more towards the kitchen entrance?
Yeah, because I'm...
Yeah, no problem. And it's an open door. There's no doorway here. It's just an open stone archway. Roll a perception check for me.
5.
You just hear the faintness of whispers. That's about all you can hear from this back area. So the main tower, 2/3 of the main tower is just an open... grand hall that has stairways going up to either side, where the back portion, so imagine a circle, the front half like this, it's like 2/3 of it is just the grand hallway where they have beautiful paintings, pillars, the stairways that are going up and they wrap around the building. And then the back half is where you are now, is basically where you can find the privies, where the kitchen is, where the servants can go. And there's also additional stairs back here to go up and down.
Lounge.
Essentially a teacher's lounge. Yeah, you could probably find that here as well. Was that bothering you?
Immensely.
There was a hair on my hood. She had to grab it.
Yeah, it was just like floating.
So, but yeah, I mean, you can eventually, when you go up, find a teacher's lounge for sure.
Okay. I hate to do this, but also considering that my other 2 second level spells are noisy anyway, I'm going to cast invisibility on myself again.
All right. As you once more make the motion, you vanish from sight.
Okay.
That spell's really been useful. You've used that more than probably any other of your spells so far.
Well, yeah. I don't have a... Yeah. Okay. I was going to ask a question, and then my brain just, erased the question.
Well, yeah, it'll find it again.
Oh, spells are only restored on a long rest for me, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to be sure. I couldn't remember.
Of course, of course.
All right. So, now that I'm invisible, I'm going to... So there's always, the back stairs that, the staff would use and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to, and most likely would have used them frequently myself. When
you
going
do know
up to
that the
library.
back stairs will take you all the way up to probably the last landing before you go up to the library. It doesn't go directly to the library, but there's a little archway that you can come out of and do as well.
That's probably ideal.
One of those
anyway.
staff only signs next to it that you often ignored. So
Well, especially because I'm practically staff within the library at this point.
Plus, you're invisible, so yeah, it's
Yeah.
also true.
I'm a page. I'm useful. Okay, so I'm going to head up those back stairs quietly and carefully, keeping to the edge, and basically, because how many floors is it up?
Oh goodness, I haven't ever. It's tall. I can tell you that much.
So basically, just going to like at each landing, just take a second to listen to like see if there's activity or.
You've left all the activity down below. There's nobody. It doesn't seem to be anybody else up here with you. The higher you go, the more vacant it feels.
Okay, so they're getting ready for whatever they're gonna do or whatever. I don't know. They're not coming up here yet.
Nobody's coming up here. It's almost as if the whole tower has been evacuated to the bottom floor.
Okay. What's it feel like? Is it cold?
Yes, that pressing cold is still there, and you hear a soft wail at least once or twice as you're climbing up. That's so faint and distant, but you hear it.
Okay, so while I'm walking up a multitude of stairs and praising my cardio,
What's your strength? It's decent. It's 10. Okay.
it's a lot better than probably most of our real life.
Cardio is probably Constitution. You have a 12. So yeah, Leah has a strong heart.
Yes, super strong.
Like
But-
cool.
Well, no, my main thing is that like I want her to be thinking about what she saw, like because I imagine she does a ridiculous amount of reading, just kind of like
Roll me a history check.
thinking through like the stories she's been told from the church versus like what she's read in these books that she's found. 12. Plus discussions she had.
You
with
remember at the festival they were selling ghost wards
Right.
as just something to sell. But nobody has really seen any type of activity like this in quite some time. It's just, you've never seen one. And the fact that it is still around, a lot of anything that has to do with the undead, with the church, you remember reading from the book, is essentially that any type of dabblings with the undead is just a work of evil magic and should be feared, that kind of thing. But it's very unheard of, right, in this day and age, essentially. Like, right, what's happening right now is like just fascinating, even.
crazy anomaly.
Yeah, it really
Okay.
is. That's about what you can ascertain from it.
All right. So I'm at the landing right before the libre.
Yeah.
So, ¿dónde está la biblioteca? I'm going to stick my head out of that archway invisibly and just listen and feel for like, is there anybody, anything?
Roll me a perception check.
Any slamming, crashing,
Doing
sneaking,
a lot of rolling today.
peeking? 13.
It seems empty.
Okay. Is the door to the library still ajar or is it closed?
You'd have to climb the stairs to go see now. You were like
Oh.
on the last landing before
Oh,
you
I
get up
thought
there.
I was like sticking my. Oh, so I have to go up. That's right.
Yeah,
that's
my
right. Okay.
apologies. Yeah, the servant stairs comes out like probably about
Staff.
a staff, excuse me. The staff stairs come down about a dozen steps below the main door.
Okay, so I will head up that way then, carefully.
Okay. As you step out and begin making your way up, you collide with something. Who's there?
What did it feel like? Whose
Felt
voice
like-
was that?
Felt like you ran into a person.
Whose voice was it? Do I
Roll
know?
a
Male?
perception check.
Female?
It was a male voice.
Did it sound insecure? Did it sound deeply insecure?
It seems a little spooked, but there's nobody there.
You said investigation?
Yeah,
12.
you ran into something. Hello?
Whose voice is it?
You believe it's Cleric Carmine?
That's what I was thinking. That's why I asked if it was insecure.
No, not at this moment. It's not insecure. No, a bit stronger actually. A little cautious, but not insecure. Ghost, I'm here to help you. And then you-
How?
All right, I'm coming. And then you hear the padded boots walking up the stairs, but you don't see anything.
I'm going to follow the padded boots.
Are you trying to be quiet?
Yes.
Roll a stealth check.
So I get advantage because I'm invisible?
Yeah,
Natural 20.
there you are. You hear mumblings of some sort or another. He goes,
How many natural 20s have I rolled with that?
Angel, protect me. All right, you can do this. You can do this, Carmine. And they sent you because they thought it was a joke, but it's not a joke. You're here seriously. Let's do it. Gets up to the door and He pushes it open, or you don't see him, but you do see the door move inward, and you hear him go inside.
I'm basically like right behind him, so I want to just like, because he's pretty large, isn't he?
Yes.
So, and not the
You
most,
think he is. Yeah, I mean, you remember him being large.
but not the most dexterous of individuals. So I'm hoping that his ability to, like, because he's much larger than me, to open the door, get in, turn around and close it is plenty of time for me. I hope with the natural 20 that helps.
Right. He the room you see is exactly how you left it. Untouched, no one's come to clean up. The lights are still completely out, and still has that pressing cold that seems to be emanating from this unwell presence. It's quiet. You don't see where Cleric Carmine is. What would you like to do?
Well, can I hear him still?
You hear him pad forward very cautiously, stopping at every row of books, and then tap 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 stop, tap 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 stop. And he's kind of making his way towards the center of the library.
Okay.
And I've sent you a map, and for everybody listening, if you'll check our Twitter, you'll be able to see the map. I'm going to post it when this episode comes out. But for you as well, just to show you, the area where you saw her originally is right there. It's a bunch of broken shelves and stuff.
I see. So it's on the opposite side of the center.
Mhm.
So essentially, we have the main entryway that we came in.
Yes.
In the back, there's a small doorway.
Yeah, that leads to her office.
Her office.
Yes.
Okay. So.
And you have a fire towards the southern wall, and the northern wall leads to the rows of basically the ring-shaped bookshelves above. As you know, you can see all the way up to the top of the ceiling, which is the amber ceiling, currently dark because there's no sunlight coming through it. But it's just donut rings of platforms all the way up these grand stairs.
Oh, a Library of Congress. Okay.
Hey, that's pretty.
It is pretty.
Go ahead.
Nothing wrong with that. So in the center, is that just like the center is just like an elaborate thing on the floor? It's not like anything in the way.
Yeah, that's
open.
That's all stonework and carpeting is all that is. It's not. It's just supposed to be to make it look very grand and all that other good stuff.
Okay, so I'm going to go on the. So he's got like the row of books in the center, and then on the upper outside bit to the right, there's like that study area. It's on the opposite of the fire.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I'm going to skirt my way around carefully.
Okay.
Just like, again, because I know the library really well. I'm going to skirt my way all around the edge to basically go to the other side where I know the damage is.
Okay.
But like far away, giving him time to, because he's heading straight there.
Yeah, of course.
I'm trying to take a circuitous route, so if he runs into anything, he'll run into it first. So, and I also want to watch what he does before I do anything. And I don't want to reveal myself yet.
Okay.
If possible.
Yeah, not a problem at all.
And then I'm going to cast Fireball and murder everybody.
Don't do that. That would make me very sad if you did.
I found this wish item.
All right. So as you're making your way around the outlier of the library, making sure you're keeping an eye on him, you hear him actually speak up. And he says, I guess there's no use because I can't really see. By the grace of the angel, please bring forth the miracle of light. And you see him appear holding his the hexagon symbol of the church, his hallowed hexagon, and it's glowing a bright light as he starts to fade back into your vision.
Leah, thanks. What a noisy light spell.
And he holds on the light and he's looking around in the inside of everything. And he says, hello? Spirit, if you're here, I'm here to help. You're lost, and I'm trying to help you find your way to the next life. If you're there, please. And then he takes a moment, listens.
I don't move.
I understand. And he goes, by the blessing of the angel, guide my eyes to detect both the evil and the good of the world. And all of a sudden you see as his eyes look around, they go sheer white and begin to glow slightly.
Good thing I'm not good or evil.
As he's looking around, and he goes, no ghost. Okay. Well, that's good. At least not here at the moment. There's some faint traces of necromancy, though, so there might be something here. That's good. Okay, all right, not too bad.
I love that this poor guy is talking to himself this whole time.
Yeah, he seems like he's doing that to keep his courage up.
Yeah. Pep talk. Self-pep talk.
Right, what's wrong with that?
Nothing. As a bard, I'm quite familiar with inspiration.
Oh, no, he doesn't even use... I thought he used one of his miracles, but he doesn't. He still says that, and it still occurs, but I forgot that he has the ability called Eyes of the Grave.
Oh, yeah.
You know, where he can see...
Undead and...
you can see undead. Mm-hmm, absolutely, up to 60 feet. My greatest apologies. I'm sorry about that.
So, like, detect evil and good is, like, not normal creatures with, like... Or does it detect people with alignments as well?
You don't know. You've never been in contact with that spell.
No, I was just curious. I can't remember. Because Leah's neutral, I think.
It's about supreme deities of one ranking or another. Demons, fays, angels, devils, undead, things like that.
Okay. Just curious. Because I couldn't remember, because I know some can detect alignment.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that was that specifically.
So, he seems to be over there standing where you found originally Thiel. What would you like to do? He seems to be just kind of searching.
Is
looking
he at
around on the ground.
messed up shelf yet?
Yeah, he is.
He's there? Is he very focused on it?
Yeah, he's just kind of looking down on the ground, holding his light over it, and just kind of really looking and examining everything.
I'm going to... Can I... So, like, it's just cold in here universally, or are there places where it feels colder than others? Like, if I move towards Thiel's office, does it feel colder there?
No. It just all feels about even.
Okay. So, I'm going to continue my circuitous route, just, like, skirting along the books, the bookshelves, and the bays of books, and get to Thiel's office door.
Okay.
Invisibly.
Okay.
Because he's rummaging through stuff.
Yeah, how long does invisibility work? Last an hour? Okay. Mm-hmm. It's been about 30 minutes now. Go ahead.
Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just super quietly just barely touch the handle.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Like, I'm not going to do anything to it. I just want to feel if it's, like, resisting or not. Like, if it's locked or not. 19.
No, it feels like it always does.
It's not locked?
Mm-mm.
Okay, cool. So, just so quietly. Just open it.
Stealth check, please.
18.
18.
It doesn't really matter, because what I'm going to do afterwards is going to negate that, but...
Yeah, and that's just above his passive perception. So yeah, you're able to quietly open the door as you see the light shifting among the books and stuff because it's not reaching you now. Okay. It's just over there among the shelves.
So just real quick, just like peek in. Do I see anything?
No.
Great. And then I'm going to...
It's dark inside.
Yeah, but I don't see any apparitions.
No, you don't see... Boo! No.
Okay, no.
Yeah, none of that.
Okay. Don't cross the streams. All right. I'm going to drop invisibility.
Okay.
Then I'm going to whisper loudly, Carmine, is that you?
Who goes there?
And I'm going to close her door behind me, quietly, but not really quietly. Like.
I see what you're doing there. Okay. Who goes there? By the blessing of the angel, reveal yourself to the light.
Yeah, Carmine, we've been over this.
Oh.
Hey.
Leah.
Hey.
Leah, what are you doing up here? There's a ghost.
That's cool. My friend was hurt, so I came to see, what was going on. Okay, for all intents and purposes, I'm whispering.
Who is... You don't have to whisper. Who's your friend?
Well, I'm only whispering because I'm not supposed to be here.
You're fine.
Okay. Prime Regis Thiel.
Oh, dear. Yes, I saw her. She's stable now, thankfully, and she will recover after I looked over her. She will be fine. You can rest well knowing that. But why are you up here?
To help.
Help how?
Well, I saw what happened.
What happened?
Well, she was possessed by whatever this was.
Explain it to me. What did you see exactly?
Her eyes were like white, silvered out. And...
Did you see anything? Any ethereal being?
Yeah.
You work here, you told me, so you know what ethereal means, yes? Did you see anything like that?
Yes, and in ectoplasm.
Oh my goodness, there was a ghost.
Is that what it was? It screamed. I've read about other things too. We know it was a ghost?
when it screamed, did you show me your hands? Okay. No, there's no withering. Okay.
No,
So not a banshee, just a regular ghost. Banshees are stronger apparitions. Their screams can basically age you by decades.
That would really suck.
Ghosts can kind of do that too, but not as powerful.
Like, I had a moment when it screamed, I was like almost afraid, but I was more mad that it made this mess of books.
So you saw it and okay.
It ripped away from her after I confronted her.
This is amazing. They sent me here. They didn't think that this was any alarming. I mean, this place has been here for ages, and this never had a haunting of any sort before. We haven't dealt with a haunting of any sort in a while. Everything has mostly been contained at the church. So,
well, calm down. Let's think about this rationally. So,
right.
I noticed that there is a certain level where it starts to get cold, and the sconces in the walls aren't lit anymore.
Yes, the presence of the spiritual undead can suppress warmth. Surprisingly, it doesn't have any afflictions against light. It just, we use heat. Heat comes off our light sources, so it just kind of, they're not, causality does not, that whole thing.
Sure. And before we get much further, I was never here, right?
I can't lie.
You don't lie, you just admit things.
Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Aw. You wouldn't want your friend to get in trouble now, would you? Dang, that would have been really good. Persuasion? 16.
Well, with that last little comment, it did lower the DC to 15.
Plus, this will look really good if you can handle this.
I can handle this.
That's what I'm saying.
I've been trained to do this.
Absolutely, but they didn't believe in you, right?
Well, they just sent me because they didn't think it was real.
Well, there you go. Now you've got an edge.
I need evidence.
Well, let's look for it then.
You're right. We can do that. All right. By the blessing of the angel, guide me sight. Find within and around me sources of magic. And his eyes start going a sheer blue as he turns away from you.
I'm gonna walk behind him, like standing behind him. Like
Guys go white as he says that.
I know what he's doing, so I'm standing behind him. So everywhere he turns, I'm like behind him.
He goes, "There's a presence of magic here. I can sense it. Come on, this way. Stay close to me."
Sure.
He goes back over to where the pile is, and
I'm picturing like those.
He looks up at the bookshelves, and I want you to roll a perception check.
Not investigation. Please let me investigate.
You will eventually.
Because my perception is so bad for some reason.
But you're a librarian, so the DC is low for what you're looking
11.
for. Some of the books are mismatched and in the wrong order.
No.
He goes,
I have to fix that.
He goes, hold on, right here. He very gently, with his big hand, grabs
Don't touch it.
one of the spines, slowly removes the book, turns and carefully hands it to you without looking, and then goes and gets another one down, and then another one carefully with his big hands hands them to you.
And I'm like automatically putting them back in order without realizing it.
And he goes and reaches back behind the shelf, and you hear something that sounds like broken pottery as he brings out. It looks like it's a jar that's been broken in two, and it rattles as he brings it down, and kind of dust falls off, and he's looking down at it, and he goes, "This is a ghost jar. This is from the church."
So somebody put it here.
Yes, and he turns and looks at you.
Oh no.
Thank you for listening. Please leave a review anywhere you found us. You can reach out to us on Twitter at Bountiful Bards. We hope to see you again on the civilized road.
And bring bread and cheese.
As the story goes, until then.